Okay, welcome to Telling It Like It Is, second podcast here. We're doing a little Packers Bucks preview. We have Kay Perkins with us, who's from the Upper Michigan Peninsula, called a looper. Am I saying that right, Kay?
A Youper.
A Youper, my bad. A Youper. Jeez.
Youper.
I got my Long Island accent in full bloom here, so you have to excuse me. And from Ishpeming, Michigan, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and of course, I got lifelong buddy here, John Magrino, who's a stadium announcer for the Bucks. It's called multiple national championship games. He's down there in Florida. Both of them are nice, sunny Florida, because I'm up here freezing in Long Island, New York. And
It gets cold here. Come on, be fair.
John just complained that 75 degrees. Might have to wear a jacket. So, but we'll move on. But I wanted to talk about the game today. And I really wanted to just get your thoughts, as you guys are big time Buck and Packer fans, and I'm a long suffering Viking fan. So for me, I just get to watch tomorrow and have fun. I don't have any pressure, no stress. I'm just going to enjoy it. But Kay, what do you think about tomorrow's game?
Well, I think it's going to be a really tough game, and it's a matchup that the Packers have been looking. They want to get revenge for that first game, so they were looking for this matchup. And I think having home field advantage is great for us. It's really going to help us out. The weather's going to help us out. It's going to be a cold day, maybe a bit of snow before the game, but it's
Awesome.
going to help us out.
John, what do you think about tomorrow?
Bucks by 40. Come on. No, and I'm just doing that to get at Kay. Obviously, it's going to be it's going to be a lot more difficult than the first meeting. I think when you look at the first game where the Bucks got down 10-0, but then they got the pick six and really turned the whole game around, scored 38 unanswered. I think maybe we got a little bit of confidence that hopefully would carry over into today, but that would be sort of foolish to think that was going to have any effect on today's outcome. I think the game is going to be very, very difficult. I don't think the weather is going to be much of a factor. I tend to think that professional athletes are beyond that. I mean, if John Magrino was quarterbacking the game, yeah, it'd be really tough. But Tom Brady is he's the best that's ever been in the game, in my opinion. So I don't think it's going to affect him. The younger guys are going to have to step up. It's a new experience. It's not a regular season game. The level of play always steps up in the playoffs. We all know that. So I think that the Bucks are going to have their hands full. I mean, I like how they're playing. The offensive line has really come together well. The receivers, if they can get Antonio Brown back, if he's able to go today, I think he provides an additional weapon for Brady and more problems for the Packers secondary, because even though Brady's numbers weren't that great in the first game against the Packers, I know he threw for 2 touchdowns, but the numbers weren't great. But they didn't have to be. I mean, the running game was solid. I think Ronald Jones had over 100 yards, and Leonard Fournette did not even play the first game. So now the Bucks have a little bit more flexibility in the run. Again, it's going to come down to who makes the most mistakes, as these games typically do.
Yeah, well, that first game is weird. I remember watching it, and it's 10-0 Pack, and all of a sudden, there's the Bucks punt, the Pack get the ball like their own 20, and then there's a pick six, and then another series, and then another pick, and the Bucks run it back to the 2. Edwards takes it back to the 2, and all of a sudden it's 14-10, and the game was just a strange game. But I remember the pass rush being a big difference, and Rodgers got sacked 4 times, and I don't remember Brady hitting the ground too often. So I think that's going to be a big thing tomorrow. But Kay, who are the running backs that we need to watch for tomorrow for the Packers?
Well, Aaron Jones, obviously, A.J. Dillon, and Jamal Williams, who are 3 who played last week. But A.J. Dillon got a big dinged up last week. So, but John, I'm not sure. I thought Antonio Brown was out for tomorrow. I thought they ruled him out.
Did they rule him out? I know that he did not practice.
That's the latest update I saw, that they ruled him out.
You're much more you would know better than me on that. I just saw Bruce Arians talk about, because I know that you're nervous, Kay. I know you're nervous about.
I am. It's going to be a tough game. It's not, we were saying, do we want to play the Bucks again because we played them, but it does bring back flashbacks to the 49ers of last year too. Our first game, we got blown out, and then we played them in the playoffs, but we didn't play them at home. And for me, that I think that's a bigger factor. We didn't play them at home, but I think our defense is much better now and much more developed than it was against the game against you guys. They've been playing pretty well. I mean, we shut down who's the guy, Derrick Henry. We kept him pretty, we shut him down when we played the Titans. So I think they've really stepped it up. I know our defensive coordinator made the defense watch the game from San Francisco last year to
Good.
see what it feels like. So he made them watch that game over.
Right.
You know,
It's funny you say that, Kay. I have a student who's a Packer fan in class, and I was saying to him, he's a high school football player, and I was saying to him, the San Fran game last year that you just brought up, and the earlier Buccaneer game, those two games I feel like they got pushed around. I think if they address that, it's just a psychological thing of not getting pushed around on the lines, because we all look at the glitz of the wide receivers and the quarterbacks, but you guys know in the trenches you get pushed around. I remember last year the Vikings got murdered by the 49ers because they got pushed all over the field in the divisional round. So I think that battle in the trenches, obviously, I'm not saying anything new here or going out on a limb. I think that usually can have probably the largest impact on the game, but it's something that, I just can't wait to watch the game itself. But John, what do you think about as far as, Tom Brady, as far as, just the experience? I mean, I think this is his 14th conference championship game. And how do you feel about that?
I think what he brings to the rest of the team, you realize this is what the Bucks haven't been to the playoffs in 13 years. So this is the guy that's the calming influence on the rest of the team, and he's also the master motivator. You don't want to upset the greatest quarterback in the history of the game, right? You don't want to get him upset at you. So it's kind of like impressing your parents. You want to make sure that you do the right things and you get on the good side. And and Tom Brady is, obviously tried and proven. That's not any groundbreaking analysis there, but he's going to be the one that everyone's going to look for and look to. So what I'm talking about is the players themselves. They're going to look at him. If things start going south early, how are we going to get out of it? Well, we got the guy that can do it. Now everybody just has to do what they know how to do. I think it's going to come down to, again, the Bucs offensive line. I really believe that they're playing their best football of the year. I think that a lot of confidence, and that's going to open up a lot of options for them. The Bucs are traditionally a pass-first offense, and what they'll do is that'll set up the running game for them. They don't typically run the ball right out the gate. They are typically we get the air game going, and then that sets up for a good solid ground. And if they can do that again, then Green Bay is going to be in trouble. But Green Bay is going to have to put Tom Brady on his back, and that's something that they did not do the first time. I mean, they got to him. I think they were able to hit him 4 times, but they didn't sack him once. That is a huge thing with the Bucs offense. If Brady's not rattled, the Bucs are almost unstoppable. So it'll be exciting to watch. And I really think that I honestly think the Bucs are going to have a strong game today. I really do.
The funny thing I learned about looking at last game, and I went back and I looked at it play by play, and I always think I'm partial to the run, but I always feel like sometimes these teams get away from the run too early. And when that game changed, sometimes as a coach, I'm a basketball coach, but still, I always feel as a coach, you have to learn how to control momentum when it's against you. And they throw the pick 6, and then they throw 2 straight passes, get the 3rd and 10, and then get another pick. I feel like the Packers have an excellent running game. I don't see why you'd ever want to get away from that, but I feel like teams do today. They really get away from it instead of trying to stabilize the game. I know you have Aaron Rodgers, who's so accurate and everything, and got great wide receivers, but I just sometimes I wonder why they just don't settle the game down and try to get it off the emotion level of the high pitch, and then just bring the game, settle it down, get a first down, move the chains, and then stop the tide. But Kay, how about defense? Who are you looking to lead you on defense tomorrow?
Well, the Smith brothers for sure. The Darius and Preston Smith. They need to have a big game because they've had good games here and there, but they both need to have an excellent game. And though I'll say this, I think our defense is much more put together now than the first time we played them by far. I think they've come a long way. So and I think they've got to put pressure on Brady. They absolutely have to do that. So but I think didn't one of the players, one of the O-line players for the Bucs just come back, got came off IR in his fifth
Defensive
play.
line. That's Vita Vea, the defensive tackle, is
Oh,
back.
okay, that's what. Yeah.
Don't know how many snaps he's going to get, but he certainly provides depth and and experience on the line, which is going to help him. But we'll see. I think with the with the Bucks, it's going to come down to the secondary. Carlton Davis, Antoine Winfield, again, younger guys in the NFC Championship against one of the greatest quarterbacks to play.
Yeah.
They're going to be tested, and they're going to get tested early. So if the
Yeah.
Bucks don't put pressure on Rodgers, if they don't have that type of success the way they did in the first meeting where Rodgers was rushed, then those guys are really, really going to have a hard day, man. Because and again, the home field advantage is big in the playoffs, and even though the fans won't necessarily be there in full, but it's the corners and the safeties are really, really going to have to step up today, no question.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because as a Viking fan, you root against the Packers. Sorry, Kay, but
No, no.
but Aaron Rodgers, every time we play him or I watch a game with the Packers in it, there's at least 3 or 4 plays, I swear, that after the play's over, you go, there's no way he fit that ball in out of bounds. There's no way the guy got 2 feet down 3 or 4 times a game. And I look and I go, he did it. I mean, I still can't get over that play made versus the Cowboys several years ago in the playoff game. There's no room there. I don't know. I still go back, I watch it, I go, how'd that happen? Like, it's just incredible. So
his release,
unbelievable.
His release is just superhuman.
Yeah.
Like and he can throw off his back foot better than anybody I've ever seen. Like he defies the laws of physics when it comes to coaching a quarterback, because you always teach a quarterback, don't throw off your back foot. Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers does it. Okay, he does.
Yes, as from a coaching standpoint, that is the thing that the kids say today. So you shouldn't dribble the ball between your legs 50 times. Well, James Harden does it, yeah, but you're not James Harden, so it's pass the ball and set a screen.
Right, give it to somebody that can dribble, please.
But so who are you looking for your wide receivers to have a big day for you tomorrow, Kay?
Well, they all have to step up. They all have to. But that's the good thing sometimes, is that we have a lot of weapons that they can throw to. So they're all going to be, watching Devontae, but they can. Then they have other weapons they can throw to. So
love your tight end. I love the tight end.
Oh, Tanyan, is that the
he's
guy?
a wonderful
Tanyan?
player. Really like him a lot. He's come along. Unfortunately for my Vikings, he's come along. That's not good.
Yeah.
But old Lazard had that big catch last week after he had a
big drop, and then he got a big catch. So
and then Scantling is tough. I mean, but Adams has just really matured into a great receiver. I remember when he first came up, they gave him a hard time, but now the patience has paid off. You can see how great a player he is now, and he's got so much length and so much strength. It's a tough matchup, and in the D-backs, that's a physical matchup for them, And Winfield, son of the former Viking, this Winfield.
Yep.
I wanted to draft him because I knew he'd be a tough kid because his dad was one of the best tacklers at cornerback I've ever seen. But that's a tough matchup. I mean, he'll be fine. He'll be fearless as a Winfield. But like I said, whoever's covering Adams, that's going to be something to really have fun with and watch. And but how's the mood down there in Tampa area with the fans? I mean, how far you live from Tampa, guys?
I live about 90 minutes.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So
the mood?
I don't know. I think inside the Tampa Bay area, everybody's all in. I think Orlando's a strange area, Dave. It's all mostly transplanted people. So, we have people like Kay around. I'm sorry, Kay.
He loves the Packers.
Right. Yeah. So, I think this area is, I think predominantly Bucks fans, but the other half of that is everybody from out of town. You got a lot of New York fans, a lot of Green Bay fans, Pittsburgh. Sometimes when at the Bucks home games, the away jerseys, especially in the lean years with the Bucks, the away jerseys would outnumber the Bucks jerseys, which is something that is finally not the case. But I think most people down here are confident but wary that it's difficult to beat a team twice, especially Aaron Rodgers, man. I mean, that's going to be tough.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's tough. I mean, Kay, have you talked to anybody back home that's in Michigan there that's Packer fans or?
Oh yeah. Well, I have family in Wisconsin as well, but
Okay.
yeah, I was ready. I was on standby to get on a flight because there was sort of a lottery system with the
Oh, nice.
tickets.
Okay.
So if someone had gotten extra tickets, I was on my way. So I was ready, like to go. Yeah, they're so excited for the game. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, well it's
yeah.
the NFC Championship to me. I always say it's so exciting when you get there. It's got to be nerve wracking waiting all day for the 3 o'clock game. You're so used to playing at 1, and you get that 3:40 start, and you just like at 1 o'clock you're already eating your sandwich.
Oh, I
And
know. I'm actually glad we have the earlier game. I want to kind of get it over with, and
Sure,
just I just
sure,
wanted this. I wish it was the 1 o'clock game because I just I'm
sure.
already pacing thinking about it. Once the game starts, I get up and I pace back and forth, and
Kay
it's just
doesn't sit down during a Packer game.
Wow.
no, I don't.
Doesn't
So you're
sit
like
down.
me, Kay. I can't sit down either.
I can't like it's funny. I'm just kind of watching the game. If Rodgers drops back, I drop back. I go right, I go left. I kind of follow him, and it's not, I didn't even notice I was doing it. My daughter videoed me one time and I was just laughed. I was like, didn't even notice I did that.
Well,
So.
hopefully you're not scrambling into a lamp or anything.
Well, they're in Orlando. There's something called the Central Florida Packer Backers,
Oh,
and it's a whole big group, and they do a Packer picnic kickoff every year, and then they have this one bar that everyone goes to, and they only show the Packer game, so it's only
awesome.
Packer fans.
Awesome.
So it's really good to go there, and you get everyone, and there's just how crazy fans from teams can be. So it's a really fun place to go and watch the games.
Sure. I mean, it's that's great. I remember when I lived about 10 minutes out of Charlotte, they had a Steeler bar down there because the Panthers were new when I lived down there in 95 and 96, 97. But yeah, they had a Steeler bar and you couldn't go in there and ask for another game. Because I was a Viking fan, I wasn't going to be able to get the games. I mean, now I get them, but back then, you didn't have the capability unless you could go somewhere to watch it. And I never forget, I moved down there by myself. I'm like, hey, you guys have Vikings? He's like, no. I'm like, I'm out. So,
All right.
but yeah, that's great. I'm actually very happy to hear that all these places have these different, Packer rallies and Buck rallies and all these teams. It just brings a lot to the forefront of the game for me. I guess you're not alone if you're in a different area. Whereas if you're, like I said, a Viking fan in New York or a Packer fan in Florida, it's good to know that you have some support there. It's not easy sometimes. You walk around with your jersey on and people give you that look.
No, but Packer fans travel well, and there's
You do.
Packer clubs all over the U.S. I
Sure.
mean, they are like the Steelers. They are similar to the Steelers in that.
Okay, Kay, I got a big question for you here. Now, I don't like to ask the Packer fans this question. Now, Favre or Rodgers, who do you like better?
Oh gosh, it's kind of a toss up, but I would go Favre.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know.
too.
I would go Favre. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I know they're both just amazing players, and I guess Rodgers will have better numbers, but there's something about Favre's spirit that was even as an opponent, you had to admire it.
I used to love they would mic him up sometimes, and you can go and see some of them. And I remember him asking one time, like, "Hey, can I kick the extra point?" And the coach is like, "No, you can't kick the extra point." He's just asking,
asking.
He was in the huddle, and he's mic'd up, and he goes, "Hey, you guys, did you see Mr. Miyagi? He's in the crowd." And I guess he was, and and it's just the most random stuff. And he was just, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is too, but the way Brett Favre used to run down the field and get all excited. Yeah. I don't know. It was just very infectious, I thought.
Yeah, he was born in a million. And I always just had so much respect for him. And I was, mixed emotions when he came to play for the Vikings, but I just always respected how I felt like he played hurt. He gave you whatever he had. And so to me, that's all you can ever ask. But so Johnny, who's the key guy in the Bucs defense tomorrow besides those corners you mentioned?
On the Bucs defense?
Don't even say it. Don't even say his name, John.
Why?
Indomitian Sue.
No. No.
I
know you hate him. I know you hate him.
He was a dirty player on the Lions.
He is a dirty player. He was a dirty player with the Lions and also with Miami. He was a dirty player.
No. You stop this blasphemy. He's a hell of a player.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
And he plays through the whistle.
He does. He plays after the whistle.
I think it's Devin White. Devin White has to have a great game. You know, he missed the last couple of games due to the COVID protocol, and he's back with a vengeance. And I think this is his chance to prove to everybody that he is an all-pro linebacker already at this stage of his career. He is phenomenal. Told you the corners are going to be tested. The line is going to have to put pressure. But those linebackers, man, White and David, show me a better tandem in the league.
Yeah,
than
White
those
was
two
amazing
guys.
last week. He was
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep, and they're just they absolutely shut down New Orleans in the second half, and that game actually made me more nervous than the Green Bay game. I don't want to sound ridiculously confident and everything, but I was really surprised at how well we were able to hold Drew Brees, because we never hold Drew Brees ever.
Sure.
That guy, he puts up career numbers against the Bucs every week, and my partner in the booth, Pat Hernan, I always say to him, I look at him like, how does this guy do it every year?
Yeah.
Every year, and we got past the big hurdle, got past almost a mental block, to be fair. And now it's just let's keep that momentum going. But I think the linebackers with White and David are really gonna have to exert their influence, for lack of a better description.
Sure.
But it was that pick that turned that game as well last week. That's what seemed to turn, because I thought they were going back down to score. We're going to be up by 14.
Sure.
And that pick just turned the momentum of the game.
It sure did. They looked like they had a chance to go up 2 scores that late, and you're saying to yourself, this could be over. But then, like you said, they got Breeze out of the pocket, and he didn't look healthy, and he threw one short, and boom.
Hey, listen, I got to give you credit, Coach Scholler. You called that one. I was texting you my angst, and you're like, nah, it ain't gonna happen.
Nah. Breeze, as the Vikings will tell you, they've even beat him twice, and we don't get many playoff wins.
Oh man!
But Kay, give me some of your favorite Packer moments, obviously, and since you've been a Packer fan your whole life.
One of my favorites is I think we've done this to Dallas a couple times where we beat them.
Sure.
With the field goal right at the end. And one time they kicked the field goal and they just left too much time on the clock for Aaron Rodgers. And I was like, you left too much time on the clock. You can't give him that much, even like a minute. They left too much time. And I remember this, and they went down and they, kicked the field goal, and they had called a timeout. It was like a 50-something yard field goal. And then so Mason had to set it up and kick it again. And I remember that. That was just an awesome moment. And I love all the Aaron Rodgers to Jordy Nelson plays too.
Oh, Jordy Nelson, great player.
Yeah, those were a lot of my favorite ones. But we did that then to Dallas another time. And I remember this. I was getting on a plane in Chicago, and I had been visiting my daughter, and there was me, 2 Packer fans, and a Dallas fan. And the lady's like, you guys have to get on the plane right now.
No.
So we got on the plane, and this is my favorite story. It was Southwest. You just sit down. And I sat down in like the second row. I just took a seat. And then I realized the 2 guys I was sitting in between were both deaf and signing. And then I felt kind of badly, but, I was like, oh, I'm probably sitting in between them. But I was trying to get the game on my phone, and I couldn't get it on. And the guy, they said turn off all electronics and everything, but the man was deaf, so he didn't hear it.
Right.
And we were running down going down the runway, and he turns his computer towards me. He had the game on, so I'm watching, and then we saw the win, and the Dallas fan behind us. He goes, I knew it because I heard you cheer. He goes, I heard you because I knew we lost the game. So that was just one of my favorite ones. That was really
awesome.
good.
It's funny. Crosby, I've always had respect for him. And John, I have to bring up a soft spot with the Bucs there. How's the special teams going to be tomorrow? That was a big thing last week. They kept harping on in the broadcast.
don't let special teams be a problem. I mean, put the game away on offense, and nobody has to worry about it.
Yeah,
No, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Coverage, stay in your lane. It's Pop
sure,
Warner football.
sure.
Stay in your lane, and you don't have any issues.
Yeah,
But
because they kept bringing it up after the kid, took had that first punt. He took it pretty deep there, and then
and then he did, and the second one too.
yeah, and then he got hurt, which
Yeah.
which really I think did hurt the Saints a little bit. But they kept harping on it. I know that the broadcast team was harping on it, but special teams always plays such a big part. And now you see so many extra points, obviously just missed since they moved it back, obviously. But yeah, I always trust Crosby in a big spot. He's killed my Vikings many a time, so
Yeah.
I always
He's actually he's a bit hurt. He's got a shoulder injury. Someone had, I think, a late hit on him.
Yeah.
So he was. I mean, he's been practicing, but
Sure.
but
Yeah,
they
last
did
week the
say
guy
he
rolled
was-
him over. Someone rolled him
Yeah,
over onto his shoulder. Yeah.
yeah. He got up. He wasn't too happy about that.
No, he
So
wasn't. I was happy to see the kicker, want to give a little grief out there. I was looking forward to it. See him go
well,
after
and
the
I
guy.
think this may have happened against the Bucks or punter J.K. Scott, and I hope no one gets to him because he can't make a tackle to save his life. I could probably do a better tackle. And he kind of lunges at them, or they just do a little, like I'm going to do a fake on them, and they go
Sure.
around him. So
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't get to that.
Yeah, he does the jump on the pile after the play's over. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. So yeah, I hope it doesn't get to that.
So how's the kicking game for the Bucks, Johnny?
It's been very, very good this year, which is sort of uncharacteristic. In years past, we went through kickers like paper towels for several years, And now, Bradley Pinion has been real strong as from a punting standpoint. He's been real consistent for the last number of years. And I think Ryan Suckup has been an outstanding addition to the team for the last couple of seasons. And again, providing some stability and confidence. It's always funny. We always joke around about it. Every kicker that leaves the Bucks, whether it was can't even think of their names anymore. They've gone, but they wind up having all pro careers after they leave, and suddenly like, well, what the hell was going on here, man? How did it's not like they moved the goalposts,
right?
But no, Suckup has been a phenomenal addition, and it's been great for the fans' confidence because now you're not like, well, Jesus, can we get this one, please? But
Sure.
It's been good, and if the question that you have is, am I confident that he's going to hit the game winner? Absolutely.
Yeah, he's been a good kicker for a long time.
He's been good, and kickers, man, they get dumped on, man. They just don't. It's quarterbacks can throw an interception or two in a game. Running backs can fumble a football. Wide receiver can drop a pass. But boy, I tell you, you miss an extra point and everybody knows about it. Yeah. Everybody knows about it the next day. That's a topic of conversation. Boy, we got kicking problems.
Sure.
But it's important. You got to have that guy that you can rely on, man.
Well, look at the Vikings this year. Dan Bailey cost us 10 points and win the game versus the Bucks. I mean,
which is why Dan Bailey's not with the Cowboys. That's why he's not with Dallas anymore.
Yeah. The guy had the top 6 percentages of all time, and he comes into that game. He really hurt us.
Well, it's one that you can have a guy that's been absolutely rock solid for years, and then he gets the yips.
Yep.
And you just can't figure it out, man. You're calling a sports psychologist, and then he's on waivers.
Yeah, well, we had our best kicker I thought we ever had, and then he misses that kick versus the Seahawks from 17 yards. And, Teddy Bridgewater then gets hurt. That changed our fortunes.
I noticed that you're rocking back and forth, so you still have it. Still bothers you.
Not as bad as the 1958 Gary Anderson one, where he didn't miss a kick all year, and we need a field goal of 10 with 3 minutes left, and he hooks it left.
And you stormed outside the house and you walked around the neighborhood for 3 hours.
That was the best team we've had since our chance, and we were 15-1 that year. And that's the best team we had. And I still rock because it's still disturbing. But as a Viking fan, we don't get there that often. I've been to the Super Bowl since bell bottoms were in. It's a little rough.
Well, that brings up Kay's favorite joke.
Oh, I know. So at the Packer bar, Dave, like, they do all these things. Like if you say you like Detroit, you're
Sure.
lying. If you,
Right.
if you say you like Tampa, you're out of your fucking mind and stuff.
Right.
They have all
Right.
these things there, and what's the area code for Minnesota? And it's 044. So I'm sure you get that one, but
Well, we are 0 for 4. I mean,
yeah,
you
oh
get
four
high than that.
four. So
Us and the Bills. What are we gonna do? I just want to get back to another one. I mean, I'll take 0 for 5 if I can get it.
But
yeah.
wouldn't you like to see the Bills get one just
Yeah.
just to put that to rest?
Yes,
Wouldn't you
the
just
Bills. The
like to
Bills
see it?
fans as
I
a New.
would, but if it's not against us,
Right.
but I
Right.
would like to see him get one.
Right.
Right. The
Right.
Bills. I mean, those fans are very loyal. I know a couple of down here down here on Long Island, upstate, New York Bills fans. I know a lot of kids who went to school up there and former students and people, and they're very loyal up there. Those fans are they've waited a while, so it'd be nice to see them get back in there and maybe have a chance. But yeah, I understand. I wouldn't root for them against my own team, of course. But
Of course not. No.
yeah, I mean the Bills and the Chiefs game will be an interesting game tomorrow. But that'll be fun. But if I can, before I let all of you go, am I allowed to ask you both for a prediction, or I don't want to get you in the prediction business? I don't want to get anybody in trouble here.
I'll give you
No,
a prediction.
I'll give you a prediction.
Well, we don't want to get anybody in trouble here,
No.
But all right, so Johnny, I'll give you first word.
I'm going to say it's going to be a tight game. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, but I think Brady closes it out. Bucks defense steps up. I'm going to go Bucks 31-25. No, 31-27 Bucks.
Okay, Kay, how about you?
I take the Packers 28-24 over the Bucks.
Wow.
And I say our defense steps up big time, makes Brady eat some Lambeau snow on the field a few times.
I have to say, I just hope either one of you is right, because those are close games, and that's what I'm looking forward to as a fan of neither.
I don't want a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, I would take it, but
Sure.
you want a good game.
Yeah,
Sure.
I would grudgingly take a blowout Bucks victory. I think I could handle it.
Yeah, I could handle that, but you want a good game. You don't
Sure.
want it to be a blowout. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, because we all got to go to work the next day, so I need something good on Sunday. Like. The only bad news is today I'm looking around like there's no football on today.
No, and even last Monday night, it's like there's no football on.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a lot of college hoop today, I think. But it's great having you both on, and whoever the winner is, I hope I can have you back in a couple of weeks. I have to find either a Chief or a Bill fan though. I have one Bill fan, but I don't know any Chief fans at the moment. Diehard fans like you both.
That's funny, because prior to last year, nobody was a Chief fan. So.
Okay, well, I will be stopping the recording here, and I'll be talking to you on the other side. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
Bye.